Hey everybody, welcome back to Screen Market Entertainment. And guess what? We are finally going over Claymore Volume 13. Sorry it took so long. We've had a lot of stuff come up, a lot of stuff going on. It's had a hard time getting to it, but we are finally here. We are to the next volume, Volume 13. All right, so this volume, it starts right where last volume ended. Last time we see the two new Claymores that we see, Ray and Audrey. They're about to, or they were fighting Rifle of the West. So this picks up right where they're off, right at that spot. So they're both fighting Rifle, right? And
Yeah.
Ray actually cuts Rifle, right? So they're fighting, and they're being very disrespectful the whole time they're fighting her, right? Very disrespectful. But she's also kind of toying with them because she can kill these two
Oh, easy.
anytime she wants to, right?
But she wants to awaken them, right?
Well, she wants them to awaken to join her, but she's also kind of toying with them, trying to see what's going on. Is the way I take it. But there's one part where Ray cuts her. And she's like, "No, stop! If you keep doing that, you're gonna kill me." But they think, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna kill this chick," And then, of course, she shows them her, true form, right? Where she starts splitting into little pieces.
Yeah. And she even told
which
him,
is badass.
I thought it looks really, really good. But she even told him, she's like, "Yeah, I don't really need you guys. It would be cool to have you guys. So I'm gonna bring you basically to the point of death. And if you die, you die.
Yeah,
if you don't,
yeah.
you don't.
If you don't, no big deal. No sweat off my back. But
Right,
the other chick, so Ray, she's not really scared, right? She doesn't really sense the aura from Rifle. But Audrey, she is stopped in fear. She senses the aura. Finally, she senses it, and it's so overwhelming. She is just terrified. And then, so she knocks out Ray, right? She stabs Ray. A Rifle does. She stabs Ray, and then Audrey is there, just too terrified to do anything, right? And then Rifle starts, her little pieces of her body starts coming over her, like she's gonna she's saying, "I'm gonna tear you apart very, very slowly, very painfully." And just the look on her face while this is happening is just like, you really feel bad for Audrey. And you're like, man, I used to love Rifle, but she's kind of taking it overboard. But I still like Rifle so much. But just that whole scene with what she's doing to Audrey is really crazy scene, really cool scene at that. I thought it was really, really cool.
Oh, how she's impelling her and stuff.
Well, how she has her pieces of her going over her body, like wrapping her body up, because she's almost like steel, right?
Yeah.
Think of like a razor, but that's kind of like what she is, and she's just kind of wrapping everything around her body. It looks almost like seaweed, right?
Yeah.
This is wrapping around her body, and that's when she tells her, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you very slowly. This is gonna hurt. I'm letting you know." But right at that moment is where Maria shows up, which is looking badass. She's just there. She shows up, and she saves them. Like everybody. So Maria shows up. Helen, Deneva, and Claire. They all show up. So yeah, when Maria shows up, she knocks out Audrey, and they actually put pill suppressants in their mouths because they don't want them to. They know they're gonna have to hide them from Rifle in order to get away.
Right. Because they're not good at controlling the aura.
Well, because she can sense. I mean, they're not trying to hide it, So yeah, if you give them that, then their aura is going to be gone. That's why they knocked out the other two Claymores on the way up there. I'm not sure, they're kind of like some nobodies, don't know their name. So when Maria shows up, she says, "Scatter." I love it. She's like the battle captain. She says, "Scatter," and then the rest of the Claymores take off. But Claire stays behind to talk to Rifle. She has some questions for her. She wants to know what's the state of the organization. She wants to know what's going on in the world today. So she asks her, what happened 7 years ago. She wants to know what happened, in Pieta, after they all were wiped out.
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
happened.
after the whole battle, with Easily
So
and everything.
yeah, exactly. So Rifle tells her, like, look, I'll tell you, but I got one condition. I want you to become my ally. And Claire says, fine,
Maybe.
I'll think
No.
about it. That's
Yeah,
what she
yeah. She says
says.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, she says, fine, I'll think about it. So that is enough for Rifle to tell her what happened. So Rifle explains what happened those years ago. She said 23 awakened beings came from the north. 23. 2 went east, 12 went west, and Easily went south to fight Lucia, however you say her name. So after that happened, Rifle went to go beat Easily, but she couldn't because she was stopped by Priscilla. But she didn't. I don't think she told Claire about. Maybe she did. I don't know if she told Claire about that part, but because Claire would freak out as soon as she hears the name Priscilla.
Yeah, for
But
sure. But yes, yeah, exactly.
yeah. So Rifle explains everything to Claire what happened, and then Claire says, "Well, I thought about it, but I'm out," which pisses off Rifle. He's like, "No, you think you're leaving? You're not leaving nowhere. So I'll cut off your arms and your legs and just use you for what I need you for." And she's like, "Well, I don't think you're gonna do that." And she's fast enough. She's strong enough now. She was actually able to escape.
Escape, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think it would have been cool for her to ally because screw the organization. And I feel like y'all need an abyssal one to take out the organization. And if you was to ally with Rifle long enough to take out the organization,
Yeah, but
that's a win.
that's not her goal though. Her goal is not to take out the organization.
What,
So
Claire?
they have no Rifle.
Well, yeah, but Claire's one of Claire's motivations to take out that organization.
Yeah.
So if they ally, she could convince Rifle to help her if they ally,
Yeah, that would be a good way to take it. Yeah, that would have been a good way to take it, but I don't think Rifle has any. I don't think she. That's what. I don't think that's not what she wants. Maybe she would if they asked her. Yeah, that would have been interesting if they would have asked her. Hey, you know what?
That's
If
what I
you
was
partner
hoping
with
for.
us, we going against the organization, and then we'll help you. That would have been a good little plot twist, but sadly, they don't go in that direction. So when everyone finally regroups, Audrey wakes up, and then Maria asks her some questions, and Audrey, she's like, "What'd you give me? Did you give me some pills or presents?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but we did." And Maria asks her if Alicia is complete. You remember who Alicia is, don't you?
No.
Remember last volume you had the 2 Claymores in black, Alicia and Beth, number 1 and 2.
Oh yeah,
Who killed all the awakened beings who were going south?
Most of them, yeah.
Most of them, yeah. So she wants to know if Alicia is complete, if her training is complete. Because if her training is complete, her power will rival, Rifle any of the other awakened ones or the abyssal ones. I'm sorry. And that's why she wants to know. She also asked about Galatea. You remember Galatea, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we also asked about Galatea.
Isn't Galatea the one that died though?
No, she didn't die. Galatea is the one who could read Yoma energy from far away.
Which was the one that gave Claire her arm?
That was Elena.
Okay, Elena.
Yeah.
Quicksword Elena. That's right.
Yeah, Quicksword Elena. Yeah, Galatea is the one who saved Claire back when she first met Rifle and Doff.
See, I really like Galatea because I feel like she's very suspicious of the organization, and she's like,
She's one of my favorite characters. I love Galatea. Just the name alone, Galatea is just a badass name. If I ever had a daughter, I'd name her Galatea or Miria. I don't know, one or the other. But anyways, so Audrey explains that Galatea deserted the organization and they haven't been able to find her because her ability to detect Yoma from so far away, no one can get close to her. So she knows whoever's coming after her, miles and miles before they even get close to her. So they can't catch her.
Right.
So that's when she tells Maria this. And then she says, thank you, but next time we meet, we may be crossing swords. So she tells Maria. She's like, all right, fine, whatever. All right. So now we cut to, I don't know if you remember these two people, but Clarice and Maita. Clarice is the one who went looking for awakening beings last volume, but was rescued by Claire and everybody. She's the one who's like part human and part Yoma. She's barely got any Yoma at all. Her hair color hasn't even changed. That's how much.
But yeah, isn't she like super weak in terms
Super
of all the
weak.
rest of the Claymores?
Yes, super weak. But they give her a new assignment. They give her over to Mayata, however you say her name. And dude, I love that character. So we cut to them.
Clarice or
No, the little girl that she's watching.
Maya or whatever.
Mayata. Yeah, I love that character. She is so cool, so unique. So we cut to them being attacked, right? And and she's about to get got. Clarice is, but then Mayata comes in and just massacres everyone, right?
But
she is so strong. She's so strong.
I thought Mayata was weak.
No. Clarice is the one that's weak. Mayata is the little girl that's extremely powerful, right? She's like got the. If she wasn't so young, she'd be like around the range of like a number 1 or like the top 5.
So
with strength.
How or why is she so strong?
We haven't really got to that part yet, but she is.
We haven't got to her story.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten to why she's so strong or anything yet. But like, just her hair, I love her hair. It's so long, and it's really sad. She's just a little girl. That's all she is, and they're treating her like this weapon. So it's really sad. And she sees Clarice as like her mother figure. That's when she keeps eating, keeps sucking on her boobie for food. So
she's just a boy. She's just a little boy.
But they just destroy all those Yoma there, and then it turns out that they're actually on a mission. They're on their way to hunt Galatea. That's their whole purpose. Is they're searching for Galatea because they can use pill suppressants, and Mayata can keep fighting with the pill suppressants. She can't do it as good as without them, but she's still extremely powerful on the pill suppressants. That's why they're like perfect for going and finding Galatea.
So why do they want to find Galatea?
Because the organization wants Galatea killed. So organizations.
Why? They were like literally just talking to her about like after the battle with Easley, they like had her in the room when they were doing the
but remember she left the organization. She's gone.
Oh yeah, because she didn't like what they were gonna do, so she's like, "Yeah, screw you guys, I'm out."
Yeah, she abandoned the organization. So eventually, they want her dead, especially for all the knowledge that she has and everything. So they want her gone. So that's why they send these two to go find her, because she's very powerful, and she can take pill suppressants. So Galatea can't find them. Can't sense them, pretty much.
But they're little pawns of the organization right now.
Yeah, exactly. They're just pawns of the organization.
Why do they have to be so simple-minded?
Well, they're like that's all they know. That's all they know. They're just brainwashed.
Galatea, then she'll bring
exactly. Once they get to Galatea, it gets really good. But while they're talking, Clarice and Mayata, they're surrounded by Yoma. Right, they get surrounded and get attacked. And Clarice, she's so weak. She goes to slash one of these Yoma, and she doesn't even kill it. Right, that's how weak she is. So she's about to get chopped up into pieces by one of the Yoma, and then Mayata throws her sword and kills the Yoma. But now Mayata she has got no weapon now. She's completely weaponless. So what does she do? She kills everything with her bare hands. She just demolishes everything. Like, it is like brutal how she demolishes everybody. Even the ones who try to escape, she just murders everybody.
Yomas?
Yeah. So
I didn't know there was multiple. I thought there was only one.
In a couple scenes later, there's like multiple. Like, they get surrounded and everything. There's a scene you see with Mayata. She's just covered in blood, just completely covered in blood. There's one thing that Clarice says that is kind of heartbreaking. She says, Mayata frightens her most of all
The
because
weak one?
she's no Mayata,
Dude,
the
I'm getting
chick,
confused. Yeah,
the
yeah.
the little girl, the little
Okay, she's a
girl.
strong one.
She's
Mighty's
the
the strong
strongest
one.
one. Yes, she frightens Clarice more than anyone else because how strong she is.
So you think that if she wasn't like, I don't know, like if she was all like, if she was like uh, all there, that she would be like super powerful. But the fact that she's just,
If they would have
I
kept
don't
letting
know.
her train, she would have been like the next like Teresa almost. Right? She's so strong, but they're so short-handed on people. They just threw her out there in the field. Now she's still a little girl. She hasn't been trained in, she's where everyone else they don't go out till much later. She's still a little girl.
That's insane.
Yeah, yeah, it's completely insane. That's how cruel the organization is.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
but at the
Well,
very end, they get to where Galatea is at. They didn't
uh,
say the city, but I know what the city is. I'm pretty sure you can tell if from the picture. She's at the holy city of
yeah, I was gonna
Robona.
say the holy city,
Yeah, that's where she's actually located at, and that's where it cuts away from.
Galatea.
Yeah, that's where Galatea is at. Yeah,
Why is she in the
yeah.
holy city?
Good question. I got a good answer for you, but it's not in this volume. So,
You son of a bitch!
but that's where it cuts back. After that, it cuts to begin a special chapter with Teresa of the Faint Smile. All right, so we go back to Teresa, which is when I saw this chapter, like, oh hell yeah, we get some more Teresa of the Faint Smile, sweet. And she's given a black card. You remember what a black card is, right? So
A job.
no, a
The
black
black card
card
is like
is whenever a fellow
they
warrior
want you
is
to go do
about to
something.
is about when they're about to hit their
Oh,
limit, and they give them.
yeah, they gotta go kill them. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
Been a
so
while since I've seen a black card.
so so she gets the black card from her handler, and it's Rosemary, the number 2. She goes to see Rosemary, and she gets there, and you're not really. At first, you're thinking that she's not awakened. She just wants she hates Teresa because she took her number 1 spot. Right? She wants to kill Teresa, basically. So she says when she's there, she goes, "Tell me, Rosemary, did you send me the card before or after you awoken?" Because Teresa knows. She knows that she's awakened. And she's that badass, right? And then she says, "Of course, I sent it before I awakened." So then they start fighting, right? Teresa and she's a, so this so just remind you here. The chick she's fighting, her name is Rosemary. And we haven't met her yet, but she's a number 2. So number 2s, they're very strong. So when they awaken, they're almost like an abyssal one, right? They're extremely powerful. And she awakened, right? And Teresa is there, and they're fighting. And she's beating the hell out of Teresa, right? And she's
Uh-huh.
like, "This is all you got? How did you beat me? How did you overtake me as number 1? This is you got nothing." And then Teresa's like, "All right, I'm done playing around with you." She grabs her arm and breaks it off. That's how strong Teresa is. She breaks off her arm. In Rosemary, she doesn't even notice. But she's like, "Hey, here's your arm. I guess I'm done playing around." She goes, "Just for this one time's sake, I'm gonna use a little bit of my energy." And she goes 10%. She uses her eyes change to yellow. And then this is when she's like, "Oh my god, she's just been playing with me the whole time." And then she just completely destroys Rosemary.
It was
Rosemary's
just
like,
cuts her face in half.
"Yeah, yeah." She's like, "God, you really are a monster." The whole that whole trope thing. But the way Rosemary looks, she looks badass. Like when in her form, she looks kind of like reminds me of uh that movie.
It's okay. It doesn't. It's not
Dude,
that cool.
she looks fucking cool. She looks almost like
Not
she's got
compared to
like
freaking Rifle and Easily and the Lion,
yeah,
dude.
but she still looks cool. Like she
Yeah,
reminds me a little bit like an alien. Like
yeah.
the
Like the
head, she's
Thing.
got the long tail. Like the actual aliens movies. They have that long tail and the heads where they protrude out. They don't have the like thing inside the mouth, but just the way they look. It also kind of reminds me of that movie, the monster kind of reminds me of the Cloverfield monster a little bit. Not as big or anything, but just the way it's designed, its arms and
Yeah.
stuff, kind of remind me of the Cloverfield monster. But so anyway, so Teresa dispatches her easily, very easily, kills this highly. I mean, if this thing awakens, it's like so strong. She dispatches it with ease. When she goes back to her handler, he's like, what happened? Did she awaken? She's like, no, I got to her before she awakened. You really think that I could kill her while she awakened? You think I'm that strong? Because she doesn't want him to know that, which I don't know how he's
Yeah.
not going to find out. All you can do is go back there and see her awaken and in pieces, But she doesn't want them to realize that she's that strong, that we're this almost a level of an abyssal one could not even touch her. That's how strong Teresa is, which I thought was awesome.
It's
And
really insane. Yeah, it's really
yeah,
insane.
it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's wow. And that's smart on her part. She doesn't trust an organization, and she shouldn't.
Oh yeah, of course she doesn't trust.
Don't reveal your cards, Teresa.
All right, so now we're in the last chapter of this volume, and this is one of the coolest pictures in this volume. Is we see Miria, black and white, being drenched in the rain. She just looks so badass, in my opinion. She just looks awesome. I love it. I love the way she looks. It's so awesome. Do you agree?
She looks really cool.
Does that not look awesome? Yeah, that's why she's one of my favorite characters. She really is. So this chapter, it's a little extra chapter with her, and we go back to what happened with her and her best friend, Hilda. You remember in the show whenever she killed an awakened being and she almost awakened and Ophelia was there? That's what this is about. So we get a little scene with her and her best friend Hilda, and they, Mary is still training. She's not very strong. She's strong, but she's nowhere where she is, now or even in the show. So they separate and they make a pact, to go hunt awakened ones together. So she's in a little group of like 4 or 5 people with Ophelia. Ophelia is not even there. And she's like, it's no point for me to be here when these other people can kill this awakened being. So that's the moment where Hilda awakens, but she's so close to Miria that Miria doesn't even know, and Hilda doesn't know. And Hilda gave her black card to Ophelia, but Ophelia never gave it to Miria. It's messed up.
Why?
Because Ophelia is a bitch. That's why. That's exactly why. Right? She doesn't give it to her. So then whenever they go on this next awakened hunt with Ophelia and everybody, that's when she is fighting this awakened being, and she learns that it's Hilda. And that's when she almost awakens. The whole, I don't know if you remember that in the anime, just this chapter is about that. Why she almost awakened, right. What happened, and what Ophelia did to almost cause her to awaken. It just shows you another level of Ophelia's insanity almost.
Yeah, because Ophelia was that asshole. That's right.
Yeah, the one where her neck got twisted backwards and she didn't die. Whenever she she also cut Claire's arm off.
Yeah, that was like in the beginning of the Claymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and she tells Miria this while they're fighting the awakened being to try to push Miria over the edge. And she comes real close. Miria awakens, but she doesn't really. She was able to come back. And that's what this chapter is about. And it's a really good chapter. And it really puts some light on Ophelia and how crazy she really is. She's just batshit crazy. So the very last scene on this is the whole group's together and they're walking away. And she says, or Miria says, are you watching, Hilda? These are my comrades and my friends right now. She says, let's go, together. Let's go together is what she's saying. So she's so happy to actually have friends, and she's hoping that Hilda is actually watching, and she's at peace and happy as well. It's a pretty good scene to go out on for this volume. It's kind of heartwarming, but you also see how crazy Ophelia was.
Yeah, dude, Ophelia is too much for me. She's crazy.
But you said she was one of your favorite characters. Remember?
Yeah, she's really cool. I really like her because she's like really like you can't really predict what she's gonna do. You know what I mean? She's like super wild, but like God, she's a lot. She's a lot to handle.
Yep, very true. The next volume gets pretty good. So we get next volume we get into more of Galatea and in that whole storyline. So next volume gets really
That's,
good.
and see, that's what I'm saying. Like in that comment, like Ophelia is crazy. Her character is way different, very unlikable in terms of uh how she treats others. But like I said earlier, it's necessary. I feel like for her growth, for Claire's growth.
Yeah, yeah. True. Very true.
Without Ophelia, I don't feel like
Ophelia.
of Ophelia. Without Ophelia, I don't feel like Claire would have got the training through Elena.
Yeah, yeah. No, she wouldn't have. She wouldn't have got the her arm. She wouldn't have been that
Right.
route. Yeah. Yeah,
So
so was it for Ophelia being, a psycho bitch?
crazy. Yeah, psycho.
Well, anyways, that is volume 13 of Claymore, the manga, whatever it's called. So if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't read it, shame on you. You should definitely read this. It is amazing. And we will be doing volume 14 sometime next month is the plan. So stay tuned. Thank you for listening / watching. Peace out.
Peace.